The number one reason insurance denies roof claims is not what you think. Insurance companies aren't denying your claim because you don't have damage. They're denying it because they don't have documentation. This is why we use drones, AI technology, satellite imagery, and just good old roofing experience to document everything that might be wrong with your roof. You as a homeowner need a roofer with documentation standards. Call Absolute Restoration. Let us come and inspect, document, and present.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 5.
Well, hello, Christmas folks out there. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lophon. You're watching Mississippi Live Weather here at just after 5 o'clock on this Christmas Day. Hopefully you and your family have had a fantastic day doing all of the things that families do. We've played maybe more video games here in a Lophon household than most have, but enjoyed a little food and fun doing that as well, even a little nap. And I guess certainly some of the cloud cover we had earlier today, probably better for Christmas naps earlier in the day, which thank you so much for supporting us here at Mississippi Live Weather. And for all the folks out there, again, we're just so excited that you are with us on this beautiful Christmas time period. What we are looking at more detail again coming forward over the next couple of days is going to be more of this warmth. So if that's something that you have liked, we definitely have more of that on the way. So looking forward into and through the evening, we continue to have unseasonably warm temperatures ahead. One of the big weather stories here we have, and we're tracking here in the Room to Room Weather Center, is that warmth. How long does it last? I think at least the next few days, and maybe the cold air behind it is obviously a huge weather story as well. Looking into and through the next couple of days, again, that major drop is ahead in temperatures. How cold, how long, we're discussing that in more details. And looking toward 2026, I mean, a lot of folks, again, as we call it there, New Year's Day, we'll be looking at, whether or not we recover those temperatures a whole lot for all of those plans I think a lot of folks have for the holiday itself. But looking over the course of the first 12 here, again, 68 that temperature at 6 p.m. That's just an illustration of how warm we've been today. 62 at 9, 61 by midnight, and down in the low 60s by early tomorrow morning on some southerly winds as we continue to stay very humid and well above our normal for this time of the year. Outside in Oxford at this time, we show up with those cloudy skies. 68 current temperature in the Oxford area. Feels like 72. That's right. Very rarely do we have a Christmas day where it's like, well, the temperature that it feels like is actually a little bit warmer than the actual temperature. You could argue heat index, but I don't know that you're necessarily going to win that argument in this case there. Again, I love that shot there in Lafayette County. New one for you here on Mississippi Live, and I'm going to appreciate the folks there at North Mississippi Storm Chasers on this one here. Ackerman down in Choctaw County, good evening to you. You're looking live there at 70 degrees in Choctaw County, and do appreciate the North Mississippi Storm Chasers for working with us on these cameras here across North Mississippi. And as we look outside in Cleveland, again, that cloud cover that's just been so pesky is thickening back up, and we do expect it to spread, become widespread again for tonight across much of the region. High temperature since midnight, mid-70s out there for most locations. Not quite the record warmth. Not that far away from it, but not quite record warm as far as today has been concerned. And at this hour, still coming in with around 69 degrees in New Albany, 70 in Tupelo, or 71 degrees Eupora at this instant, 68 Grenada. Really upper 60s, low 70s for most spots. I just got to keep showing this graphic because it's just a reminder. Wind chill, typically something we'd be tracking for this time of year, and obviously something we're not this evening. But we are looking at some of those wind chills to become more significant in the extended forecast. Looking at Mississippi Live Weather Radar, I have this in kind of our nighttime mode. We're looking at, again, some of that cloud cover already beginning to kind of sprout and spread across North Mississippi. So expect that fog, that drizzle, arguably, and obviously low cloud cover to be the story going forward. A couple of storm systems, the combination of the cooler air behind these is going to really tap into some cold up in Canada to provide a pretty substantial drop in temperatures by the first part of next week. But along the front, As it eventually moves in here, we're going to have some rain chances, maybe a rumble, but luckily no severe weather with that. But we're looking latter part of the weekend, and if, or the Thursday here, that tells you we still have a few more days of warmth going forward. So again, kind of bringing it a little closer here and looking at Futurecast over the next few hours, you'll note the high pressure remains the story, and that means we don't really change things up. So we're bringing that moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico, and that continuing to maintain kind of the stickiness factor that we already have, and kind of spread the clouds. You'll note here we're looking, about 10:30 this evening, 11 midnight or so, widespread cloud cover likely across most of North Mississippi. That first of a couple of fronts getting close to us, as you can see there on your early Friday. We'll look at Futurecast with that in a minute, but not expecting significant impacts as far as that is concerned. And that means we're not really changing the air mass. It's the one after that that has the bigger impact. So from around 60 in the morning, we'll be 70 by noontime, 73 again, not record setting, probably mid 70s out there again for highs on your Friday. In a lot of ways, a very similar forecast to today. Those winds out of the south and west, again, continuing to keep this unseasonably warm and moist air in place. So coming up in 60 seconds, again, how much longer can we keep this around? We're tracking the warmth and how long it really stays. One of the big headlines. We're also looking ahead at that big drop in temperatures for the latter part of this weekend and first of next week, and toward your forecast for New Year's Eve. We know a lot of folks plan different things late in the evening as far as that's concerned. The very latest on your forecast for New Year's as Mississippi Live Weather continues here from the mobile room-to-room weather center on this Christmas. Thank you so much for joining us. Merry Christmas. We'll talk to you in 60 seconds.
This Christmas season, we're counting our greatest blessing, the people and communities we call home. As a locally owned bank, we don't just serve our customers, we serve our neighbors and friends. Merry Christmas to you and your family from all of us at First Choice Bank.
As a bankruptcy firm, Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling realizes many people are worried about their finances. We're here to guide you through the next steps to restart your life with easy video appointments. New clients don't have to leave home to get information about becoming debt-free. Also, convenient in-office appointments are available at the low cost of $340 upfront for a Chapter 13. You can be on your way to being debt-free. Contact Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling today or visit our website at mcdebtfree.com. We are here to help you.
Over 2,000 years ago, the message from the angels to the shepherds still remains true today. Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be for all people. For unto you is born this day, in the city of David, a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. Fear not. The Room to Room family wishes you a very Merry Christmas and a joyful and peaceful Happy New Year.
This portion of Mississippi Live Weather is presented by Little's Jewelers.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's Mississippi's Chief Meteorologist, Matt Lovhawn.
So we've gotten a little mobile here with our Room to Room Weather Center on this Christmas Day. Thank you so much for joining us here on Mississippi Live Weather. I'm broadcasting from my parents' living room up here in Kansas, and I've scattered the entire family because of it at this point. Kids have gone upstairs to hang out with Emily for a couple minutes, but hopefully you've been able to enjoy a beautiful, wonderful, fantastic day with your family on this Christmas, and hopefully made some time to get outside and enjoy it. Very rarely are we this warm, nearly record-setting, but not quite the record thresholds as far as today is concerned. Coming in still at this hour around 70 degrees. That is, again, with a feels-like temperature at 73, a sign that we are still very mild out there for tonight. Those dew points remain high, and even with our next front eventually approaching, I do not think we're going to be talking about any sort of severe weather as it moves in, maybe some rumbles eventually, but this is really the big story eventually, and you can see the timing. Next front of significance arriving late Sunday night. Look what it does again to these wind chill temperatures. You can see by early Monday morning, it is a big contrast there from around freezing for what it will feel like to mid to upper 50s, practically 60s, you could see southeast of the Golden Triangle. So that is the difference there. I mean, come on, that's almost a 30-degree temperature swing associated with that. And for many spots, it will be cooler feeling at noontime than it is when you wake up early Monday morning. But the coldest is on the backside of this, as you can see, dropping even more into Monday evening. And look at those wind chills starting to get into the purples there as we look for the early morning hours on your Tuesday morning. So it is going to be really, really chilly for wind chill temperatures as we look into next week, kind of setting the stage for a cool week in general. A lot colder, obviously, for New Year's Day than what we're dealing with here, but still Tuesday, a couple more days to warm up, and we will get milder into next week. But obviously, pretty chilly to begin. And looking toward that forecast for New Year's Eve, at this point, we're going, if you're going to be out for the big celebration in Tupelo, by the time we see the stroke of midnight there, probably mid-30s, which is, I think, what we expect for this time of the year, but a sign that it will be eventually a little bit more mild later next week than the way in which we start the week. This week, though, obviously still a week ahead of top of that, we're looking outside in Amory with that mix of cloud cover out there. Good evening to all the folks there in Monroe County. Thank you so much for supporting us here on Mississippi Live Weather. We know Monroe County always shows up and shows out for us, and that support is very humbling, and we very much appreciate that, and all the folks here for saying Merry Christmas over here in the chat. Hi to you, Judy, and to Maggie, and to Jamie, and all the folks out there. We just appreciate you guys for supporting us here outside in Greenville. That cloud cover not showing up there, but West Point, a sign that there are some patches where we are clearer, and then showing up with those mostly clear skies at this instant there. So we're waiting on those patches of clouds and fog to eventually kind of come back together. Mississippi Live Weather Radar showing no precipitation. Not impossible to get a little bit of drizzle out of this, but probably not expecting a ton of that. Temperatures, we're in the low 70s out there right now in Tupelo and Houston, coming in around 71 in Eupora. Warm spot this instant, we show 72 out there in Clarksdale. But again, this is well above the 50s we should be for high temperatures this time of the year. Not quite the record setting, but obviously pretty warm. So Futurecast underdoing the cloud cover a little bit, but I think it has the trend as that increases over the course of the next few hours here. Because of that, we're once again probably down into the upper 50s, low 60s to begin the first part of early morning on your Friday. Again, well above our normal for this time of the year. As we progress throughout your Friday, notice how we, again, probably are still mostly cloudy 9, 10 o'clock in the morning on those southwest winds, hopefully trying to break a little bit of that up. But those clouds, I think, stay thick enough. There'll probably be more sunshine than this, but they stay thick enough that we're probably not going to make it to record-setting levels. I would say if we got really any meaningful sunshine tomorrow, we'd be in the upper 70s. But I think because we stay largely locked in the cloud cover, that's what keeps those temperatures a little bit cooler. Not to say that 74 degrees, 75 degrees is cool. It's just cooler than we would probably be otherwise. So mid-70s out there for highs on your Friday. Our normal this time of year, again, the 50s, so well above normal, about 20 degrees or so. 77 there, Belzona, Greenville, about 77 degrees. 75, Tunica, 74 for South Haven and Senatobia. Speaking of Senatobia, our meteorologist Maggie McCall will be tracking the very latest on everything starting at 6:30 tomorrow morning on Mississippi Live Weather this morning. By tomorrow evening, again, we show the green. It's not adding up to meaningful amounts of rainfall. It's just a sign of almost like kind of a drizzle, the thick cloud cover and fog out there for the overnight hours leading to early Saturday morning. But I think as we go eventually into Sunday, that will start yielding some rain chances there. But just not really thinking it's adding up to more than a couple hundredths of an inch. But that's another one of those signs. There's a lot of moisture out there. There's a lot of cloud cover. And so I think that combination probably helps temperatures to still probably make it into the middle to upper 70s for highs on your Saturday afternoon, despite that cloud cover there. Now, by Saturday night and early Sunday morning, we're still pretty mild to begin the day. Widespread clouds again. But notice some limited rain chances start popping up there ahead of our next more substantial front, which arrives late Sunday. Still pretty spotty in nature through the day, but that might actually add up to a couple hundredths of an inch of rainfall before we start to clear things out. Now, let's talk timing as this front moves in. You can see here, this is Sunday night in particular that we're looking at that happening, kind of moving in from the north and west with 11 p.m., maybe a few showers ahead of that, but more likely as that front rolls in and just behind that front, some rumbles, some fairly widespread showers. And yes, I'm not missing what I think you're also probably seeing there. Let's see if that, I don't know if that's not going to let me probably zoom it in very well there. Let's try, see if we can show that here for a second. Nope, all my city names don't zoom in on that. so I probably shouldn't mess with it too much there. But we show again what are those showers, and yeah, I do show a limited amount of. I'm not going to get this exactly lined up again, am I? Well, that's okay. That's why I shouldn't have messed with it in the first place. Close enough. But you do see a little bit of pink on that map there. That does indicate on at least our futurecast here the littlest bit of mix, and it tries to say maybe something else. Bigger takeaway should be what it's doing to those temperatures, right? Very chilly temperatures with this storm system coming in. Something Gabe and Maggie and myself and Caleb will all be watching the next couple of days. Precipitation, we expect to say at this point here, probably all liquid, maybe a flake. Not an impossibility, but I'd say that's low confidence at this point here. I'm looking ahead, but a little teaser on what's to come, obviously. 74, that high temperature, though, on your Friday. That's after starting off in the upper 50s, low 60s, well above our normal for this time of the year, with perhaps, again, some middle 70s to a couple of upper 70s out there by your Saturday afternoon. We're 76 for the high. Our normal, our 30-year average, 54. So, as you can see, even low temperatures through the weekend above where we should be for our highest temperature of the day. It'll probably take until Monday to get close to normal for those lows, but then it's just that big burst of cold temperatures behind this, right? And so that's why I don't think it ever probably feels during the daylight period on Monday as warm as that 45 indicates. We're going to be a lot colder than that. Low 20s there for early Tuesday morning. Tuesday's highs, we're going only 40s, maybe upper 30s out there. And then next week, probably 40s for highs for Wednesday. We do need to mention, with Tuesday and Wednesday being as cold as they are, that's a scenario where we need those faucets covered, where you might need to have a little drip going on those. But I think until Tuesday morning, that's not an issue. But next Tuesday, next Wednesday, as we wrap up 2025, which has been a crazy year, at least in the Law Pond household, we're looking at much, much colder temperatures by then as we look ahead toward that time period. Again, I want to mention this, the good folks, we have so many amazing sponsors here in Mississippi Live Weather. And if you see their advertisements that they put on here, just let those folks know that you notice them, that you appreciate them, that you saw it here at Mississippi Live Weather. Certainly makes a difference when it comes time to say, is this advertising effective? Effective advertising. If that's the case, that's when people choose to continue to support us. So support those folks that support us here at Mississippi Live Weather so we can continue this mission of bringing weather to you from back home in Mississippi or from my parents' house up here in Kansas. Hey, Merry Christmas to everybody. I see Jade there in Columbus and Corinth. I see Anita. Looks like Mark Les Miller there on the YouTubes. Merry Christmas to you. Devota as well. Thank you all so much for supporting us here on Mississippi Live Weather and being with us. I will say a little Christmas prayer. I think we'll wrap things up here. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow morning, and we'll talk about that here in just a second, 6:37, 7:30 a.m. But I'm just going to do a prayer of thankfulness and kind of wrap things up and get the family back down here. I know the kids are ready to play another game. You know how that goes, and it's about time to eat as well. Dear God, thank you so much for today, for the opportunity to be able to do this, be able to reach people from all across the world, just with a phone, a laptop, and a little bit of equipment. God, I pray that you continue to take care of folks that are less fortunate on this day. Help me to be a good leader for my family. Continue to protect the people of North Mississippi and help them to make wise choices as far as preparedness is concerned, and just be with those that are hungry tonight, and continue to bless this ministry. Thank you so much for Gabe, for Maggie, for Caleb, and all the folks here. And as we go into a stormier season, God, I pray that you give us wisdom and guidance as to how to take care of these people. Keep the weather nice as long as possible. In Jesus' name, amen. I want to add, I had it a second ago. That's the problem while praying, trying to remember what it was. The folks at Three Rivers Plan and Development. They are doing a kind of a push here for their Code Red. The system had a little snafu when there was the hack and it went down. It's kind of back up, and we talk about those lists of, keeping you and your family safe in severe weather. That's on the list. Let me see if I can. We talk about sometimes building armor. I wonder if this is going to work. Let's see here. There we are. Yeah, we got that on there. So that's one of the things on our list. Well, that is luckily back working for some, but there's a little snafu where people that signed up this year with Code Red aren't going to be able to actually get that to work right. So they're going to have to sign back up. So we have a post we put on Facebook about that there. So it might be something to go ahead and check out if you're one of those folks to sign up for the new Code Red. So hopefully that works. I always list Weather Call on our list here. We're doing a little promotion, still I guess technically doing a promotion as far as that's concerned, to let people know about Weather Call. And so if you would, let me see, is my audio still good on that? Yeah, it is. So, if it's something that you're looking, for maybe a last second gift for somebody you meant to get a gift for, Weather Call is always a good example of that because it's a personalized tornado warning for them. And what beats, making sure people are safe in severe weather to be a good gift. So there does come a little cost with that. Making phone calls costs a little bit of money, but we're so thankful to be able to work with the Weather Call folks to add kind of that extra layer of protection in case of active, bad, severe weather, all that kind of stuff. With that in mind, we're going to kind of wrap things up here. Our next broadcast, I kind of alluded to this a minute ago, here comes tomorrow morning. We are not doing a 6 o'clock. We are not doing a 10 o'clock today. I'm going to kind of hang out with the family. I'm going to give the living room back to everybody here in a minute. So no 6 and 10 today, but we're going to be here 6:30, 7:30 a.m. Our meteorologist Maggie McCauley back, and Adam doing what she does best, getting you ready for, in some cases, going back to work tomorrow. Other cases, going to return gifts perhaps, or just whatever you're doing on a Friday. She'll get you up to date on the latest, including some of those rain chances for the weekend, and timing those out for you starting at 6:30 a.m. Again, appreciate everybody for supporting us here at Mississippi Live Weather. From our family, the Law Pond household, to yours, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we will, tomorrow, another thing we'll have, I think we should be within the range there where we can give you the forecast for the Sugar Bowl. I know folks looking forward to that, the big Ole Miss game down there against Georgia. We'll have that Sugar Bowl forecast coming up for you tomorrow as well. But for now, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon, Mississippi Live Weather. We will see you later.
Give the gift of a delicious burger from Bulldog Burger, a soup and sandwich from Sweet Pepper's Deli, appetizers and cocktails from The Grill, or even a wood-fired steak from Harvey's. Choice is the perfect gift. An all-in-one gift card from Eat With Us.
When choosing a dentist for our family, Tupelo Smiles was the answer for us. They greet us with warm smiles right when we walk in the door, and they make us feel so welcome. We love Tupelo Smiles.